Advancement Daisy Khan spent the day on campus today speaking to groups of SU students and faculty. Khan spoke on Islam in America and specifically on the Cordoba House, the Muslim mosque and community center that has come under fire for its location. The building would be constructed 2 blocks from the site of the September 11th terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. CitrusTV's Marissa Perlman has more on Khan's lecture. Marissa?
Thanks, Lauren. Well, the Herg Auditorium was packed with students and faculty today who wanted to get Daisy Khan's perspective on the Cordoba Mosque. During her Q&A session with SU religion professor Gustav Niebuhr, she expressed her concern and her commitment for interfaith dialogue. She talked about her belief that Islam will eventually become an Americanized religion, that it will eventually be intertwined with American values and morals. For a large portion of her presentation, Khan talked about her goals for the actual space of the mosque. She said that she would want to use the community space for cooking classes, for weddings, for theater, almost as if it were a YMCA type center, you know, comparable to a JCC or a YMCA. She talked about the benefits of the Cordoba Mosque to the community and the misperceptions of the Islamic community. Khan focused on why it is so important for the mosque to be built in that area. Let's take a look.
And that it's really now a preservation of our core ideals that's at stake. And that we have to, A, think about what it means for the Muslim community. Because if we move, then how many other mosques and centers are going to be asked to move 2 feet this way and 2 feet that way?
Now, Marissa, you talked a lot about misconceptions that Americans have of the Muslim religion. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure, absolutely. You know, Khan talked about how it is such a small number of Muslims who are actually part of this extremist terrorist community. She focused on the fact that it's 1.27 billion Muslims who are not terrorists. And she focused on distinguishing between terrorists and Muslims as two separate entities and 2 separate communities.
And Marissa, there seems to be a lot of confusion about what this mosque, cultural center, is it one or is it the other? Is it both? Did she shed any light on that?
Yeah, absolutely. The center is actually a community center with a prayer space in it. So it's a mosque, but that's not really the central focus. Like I said, it's almost going to be comparable to a YMCA or a JCC with, you know, for weddings, there's going to be a theater there. So that's really the focus, not the prayer aspect of it, but the community center aspect of it.
Thanks, Marissa.